innovation. That's the topic for today. Is it audible and visible clearly?
Okay.
Yes. Right. Now, first of all, I will talk about some innovations and some recent creative things that happened in the world. For example, ISRO, they have done Gaganyaan. ISRO's human space flight project launch soon. It is going to happen, Gaganyaan. Then Indian private sector to be co-traveler in India's space journey. That's a good news. Then ISRO plans to launch new rocket made at cost of over rupees 120 crore by November 2020. Startups welcome decision to scrap 18% GST on satellite launches from India. So these are the things happening. And DRDO's contributions, if you see, India's lethal anti-tank missile possesses final test to enter production. The new video shows BrahMos anti-ship missile launched from Navy's destroyer. Indian Air Force congratulates Defense Research Body on successful BrahMos missile test firing. Then BrahMos supersonic missile successfully test fired from Navy's stealth destroyer. So these are some of the latest scientific and technological advancements in India. Behind this huge success, there is a big teamwork and many intellectuals worked on that, and certainly they used their creativity and innovation. So that's why I'm talking about all these things here. Now, the major question is, when we talk about creativity, can it be taught? Can we really talk about this? I mean, can we teach it? That is the idea. Okay. Then, is it natural? How do you improve? Is it happening at schools, colleges, and universities? Are we training the brains? These are the things happening. So these questions must be kept in the brain before we talk about all these things. And why we should talk about this? Can it be taught? It means creativity, people say it's a natural talent, it is inborn, it is genetic, and some people say it can be taught. But can it be taught? That is the question. And is it natural? Can somebody by birth have it? That is another question. And if it is there, how do we improve? That is the question. Then, is it happening at schools, colleges, and universities? Because we know the curriculum, we know the syllabus at schools, colleges, and universities. I don't know whether it is really happening somewhere in some schools, some colleges, some universities, specifically improving somebody's creativity. That's the question I'm talking about. Are we training the brains? When it comes to brain, are we training it? So these are the questions to start with when we talk about creativity. If you look at our education system, there is more theory and less practicals. Like snapshot, more theory and less practicals. Few industry academia types are there. That's why what is happening, if there is no industry academia type properly happening, then there is no chance for creativity and innovation. Because in academics, whatever is there in the books we teach, and they study something and there are examinations and it's over. But when it comes to industry types, people think of some creativity, then they go into innovation. Nowadays, there are so many incubation centers at engineering colleges and MBA colleges, and governments are also supporting, state and central governments. But how rigorously it is happening, we have to discuss. Then, future students, teachers, researchers, and companies, how are they going to be? Are they going to change according to the times and demands of the market, demands of the society, demands of the nation, demands of the whole world? Or will it be same? So to start in the initial stages, we have to think of all these things. I have already talked about what is happening in schools and colleges now. Online things are happening, and children are playing around, and parents are running around to complete their assignments, their homework, their projects and all. Okay, this is what is happening. So when there is no purpose, how long this online education will go on in India? That is a wonder, worldwide also. And some children are very happy to go to school, and some children are not at all happy to go to school. A lot of discussions are going on. Now, shifting perspective, earlier education, those who have education, they used to sign, and those who have no knowledge or no literacy, they used to put thumb impression. Now what is happening? We know how to sign, but again, the mobiles and wherever we go, that thumb impression thing is happening. It means mobiles are opening with thumb, with touch, and some places there is biomedical, what do you call it? Entry at the place of entry, we have to put the finger thumb. So from where to where are we shifting? That's why I call it shifting perspective. Now, testing system also. Few skills are taught at schools, colleges, and universities. Critical thinking and problem solving is not happening. And when there is critical thinking, part of it will be creativity. So this particular skill, per se, critical thinking skill, has to be imbibed, integrated into syllabus, various curricula and syllabi. That is the idea. Then we go for problem solving. Many scientists and intellectuals have said something, but I remember Einstein here, who said, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is a stupid. It means what are we testing is some knowledge, some skill, but skill-based tests are not happening. Overall testing is not happening. So overall development of the individual, like Swami Vivekananda said, overall development of an individual is education. That is not happening in it. In no school it is happening. Maybe because of the constraint of time, or maybe because of the constraint of money or infrastructure, whatever it may be, that overall development is remaining on the paper, but practically it is not happening fully. That is the idea. Okay. Multiple intelligence already I have talked about, so I am skipping that. Developing creative work culture in organizations. How do you develop actually? For example, what do you mean by creativity? I want to improve. It means I have to start thinking about it. First, it starts with thinking. Then we go for designing. Then we go for presenting. Then comes your output. If thinking is there, that's fine. But how about designing? We are only thinking or going for some designing also. Then after designing comes your presenting. Whatever you have designed, maybe an idea, a concept, or a thing, or maybe it's anything. Then you present it. After presenting, the output comes out. This is regarding creativity. Then comes your work. How are we working? With what passion are we working? Some people work with passion. Some people work for passion. And some people work for life. And what is the result of this kind of work? Some people are only constrained to, restricted to time. I'll report to duty by 10 and I'll get out by 4 o'clock. So time bound life. So just for your livelihood, for your pay or something you are working. But there is no passion about it. If there is passion, then for some people, passion becomes fashion. My fashion is, for example, appearing nice. But for some people, fashion is their passion. Their work is their passion. So they will be seen only through their work. So that is regarding the work. Then we come for culture. This creativity and work culture. That is a link. For example, Vishweshwaraya, C.V. Raman, Kalam, such people who are famous Indian scientists and technocrats and so many fields they have worked, they had some value system. Vishweshwaraya, he was called by even the old Nizam of Hyderabad to create some, design some waterfalls, so many bridges and so many things, big projects. C.V. Raman, everybody knows, the famous Indian scientist. He had some values. Kalam, he right in Hyderabad, he worked for DRDO and so many places, and so many missiles he designed. And he always used to say that India needs its own internet system. Why should we depend on some America, or UK, or Australia, or China, Japan, whatever it is, for certain technological advancement? We should have our own system. Even today, we are depending on softwares like video platforms like Zoom, Cisco, MS Teams and all. Even today, we don't have our own Indian video chatting platform or meeting platform. Still, we are waiting for that. So what is happening? We are unable to do certain things. Okay, when it comes to organization, what is an organization? Is it people? Is it buildings? Is it equipment? Is it lab? Is it factory or all put together? That is the idea. So an organization is people, buildings, equipment, lab, factory. But above all, there should be some creative mind behind it, or creative minds together working for it. Then comes your research, need-based, industry-based, nation-based, and name-based research. Some people do research for the sake of degree. Some people do research for name. Some people do it for industry. Some people do it because there is a need, like Corona. Now all organizations, many research organizations are focusing on Corona, developing some vaccine and all. Still we are hearing that Russia has already done, America is doing, UK is doing, in India some labs are doing. These news are there. But actually what is happening? Is it need-based, industry-based, nation-based, or name-based? And behind all these things, there is creativity and innovation. For example, Shanta Biotechnics, the founder of Shanta Biotechnics, which is a famous lab and organization in Hyderabad, he was an engineer basically. But imagine an engineer is doing something about biotechnology, biomedical engineering. And he's the brain behind developing indigenous vaccine for hepatitis B in India. Actually, countries like America were marketing that product earlier, 10 years ago, for 2,500 rupees, one small ample of hepatitis B vaccine. That was very expensive. So some poor people used to die because of hepatitis B. Then I'm forgetting his name, Shanta Biotechnics owner, some Mr. Reddy. He went to America, he visited so many labs, he requested them to share with him the formula or whatever, and he was rejected. So with that feeling, he came, I am rejected, so I will develop it on my own. So some creative thought came into his mind, then he started innovating, then he established Shanta Biotechnics in Hyderabad. Then that is a history. For 150 rupees, first time he introduced that ample, what do you call, that antidote in the market. So where is 2,500 rupees and where is 150 rupees? So that's how, these are the examples how creatively people are thinking and how it is helping them to innovate something which is benefiting the humankind. Look at Tata, for example. Tata Nano is an innovation. There is some creativity behind it. Because there is a story that once Mr. Tata observed a husband, wife, and two kids sitting on one bike. One was sitting on the handle, one was hanging behind, and one man and one woman. So that was a pathetic condition. In traffic they were going. So that gave him an idea that why can't we develop a small car which took shape like Nano. That was the cheapest car in the world. He was giving for just 1 lakh rupees. Selling a car for just 1 lakh rupees was unimaginable once upon a time. Not even Japan, not even America, not even UK had done that. But first time an Indian entrepreneur, an industrialist thought of it, and that's how Nano came into market. So there is some creativity behind it. There is some innovation behind every creativity. That's what I'm trying to say. Now look at these visuals. I hope it's appearing on the screen. Recent restaurants. Look at the shape. It is compartmentalized restaurant. It is like one person is sitting down and another table is on over their head. That's how they have designed now. And because there is social distancing now. So what is happening? Because of one issue, one need, somebody is thinking creatively and developing something, and some innovation is happening, and that is coming into the market and everybody is benefited. So there is an immediate need to improve creativity among our children, among our students, our technocrats, engineers, and management trainees also. Recently, there was a product in the market, CRMs, anti-corona clothes. They started marketing already. That appeared in some internet or somewhere. I collected this visual. They're claiming that this fabric is repelling virus 99.94%. That's a claim. Antibacterial, they are claiming it. But I don't know scientifically whether how true it is, but it is happening. And another organization, Haik Verblock, there is an organization. They say that this shirt, if you wear our shirt, this kills 99% of the COVID-19 virus. So what is happening? There is an issue, there is a pandemic, and somebody is thinking of antivirus, and somebody is thinking of some vaccine, somebody is thinking of gloves, somebody is thinking of mask, and somebody is thinking of antivirus clothes. So what is happening? There is some innovation, and behind it there is some creativity, and behind that there is a problem or a need. That's the idea. And these are very interesting happenings. Now look at this visual. Earlier I asked you one question: is creativity natural? Can it be taught? Somebody, there was a video clip circling in WhatsApp groups and everywhere, that there is a small fish which is not even the size of 2 inches, which lives underwater, and on the seabed it is creating some designs. It nearly takes some 30 minutes to 45 minutes for that small fish which is appearing somewhere. It is not even appearing on the screen. But this design is not done by a machine, or neither it is done by some human being or somebody. And the full video is there available somewhere. Fish is making, one single fish is making this wonderful design, which is looking like some Vishnu chakra or sun or something like that. Imagine, small fish, and what is the size of its brain, and what is the size of human brain. Leave alone the size. What is the biomass? What is the mass of the human brain? And what is the efficiency of the human brain? Lakhs of crores of neurons are there in the brain, and one neuron is even more than a computer. We have 1 GB or 1 TB hard disk now, and one neuron is much more than that. If computer can remember that much and use that much brain, store that much data, how much human brain can do? And when we look at these natural things which are already existing in some creature, look at small honeybees. Thousands of trips they make from flower to their honeycomb, and they collect the droplets of this honey, and they store it in the honeycomb. And the honeycomb has some proper shape, and honeybees are colorful. Who is designing all these things, and where from this idea is coming? Look at a small sparrow. 1,000 times it brings the strands of grass, some particular grass, which it only knows. It has some knowledge about it. Even human beings try to make such a beautiful what do you call nest of a bird. It's not possible. So even small creatures like that have a lot of creativity, a lot of innovation, and based on these birds and creatures, human beings developed aeroplanes, rockets, and space shuttles. So behind every innovation there is creativity. That's what I'm trying to say, and there is a need to improve it. Okay, what is happening in a minute, in 60 seconds on the internet? This visual shows you. WhatsApp users share 41 lakh 666 thousands and 667 messages. That's a big number in 1 minute. That means 60 seconds. Amazon ships 6,659 packages worldwide. LinkedIn users apply 69,444 jobs in just 60 seconds. Facebook users share 1,50,000 messages. Twitter, 319 new users are joining. YouTube users upload 500 hours of video content worldwide in 1 minute. Instagram users post 3,47,222 stories. Netflix, very famous nowadays, it is keeping away the traditional TV channels. Now, if you have internet, Netflix can show you any movie, you name it, in the world, in Korean, in Russian, in Japanese, in any language with subtitles in English, Hindi, Telugu, whatever. That's the technology available now. So Netflix users stream 4,04,444 hours of video. Netflix doing. That is equivalent to how many movies? Zoom, for example, on the same platform we are now, 2,08,333 participants are on the meeting at any given minute. So at this speed, the world is going forward nowadays. And where are we? I don't know. So what I'm trying to say is, innovation and creativity go together, and that will help the human beings if it is systematically developed. This is the last visual I am showing you. Mindset of people. Mindset of people is nothing but when we pose one question to somebody. For example, what is your opinion on the shortage of food in the rest of the world? Somebody is asking. Imagine it's an UNO meeting going on. Then somebody from Africa, where there is food scarcity in some nations like Somalia, is saying, what is food? Now the person who is convening the meeting is asking, what's your opinion on the shortage of food? He's saying, what is food? I don't know what is food. Then somebody from Europe, where there is abundance of resources, that representative is saying, what is shortage? Because they never saw shortage of food supply or medicine, nothing. In some countries we see, but Europeans and other countries, they are self-sufficient. Then another person from America is saying, what is the rest of the world? We don't know what is the rest of the world. Then another person from Arabia is saying, what is opinion? So for single question, what is your opinion on the shortage of food in the rest of the world? Different types of answers are coming. That's where mindset of people comes. If the mindset is not proper, creativity won't be there. There is no innovation. That's why Buddha says, if a man can control his mind, he can find the way to enlightenment, and all wisdom and virtue will naturally come to him. It is said by the great saint Buddha. But even in Buddhist literature, you find that many spiritual people, for that matter in India, they have been saying about the mind. But this quotation by Buddha is wonderful. If a man can control his mind, he can find the way to enlightenment, and all wisdom and virtue will naturally come to him. It means everything is happening in the brain itself. Even the blind poet Milton says, the mind is in its own place, in itself can create a hell of heaven or heaven of hell. So there are some happy hormones and there are some sad hormones when we think about something, because we are talking about creativity and innovation. When you think of something, serotonin and dopamine, these two types of hormones are released in the brain. So serotonin is mood stabilizer, wellness and happiness creator, but dopamine is creating pleasure, inner motivation and reinforcement. This is a chemical reaction naturally happening in the mind. So those who are happy and creative, they will create this, others create something else. Okay, there are many women scientists, I am skipping that. But history of Nobel Prizes, the Nobel Prize and prize in economic sciences have been awarded to women 58 times between 1901 and 2020. It means in 120-30 years, only 58 women all over the world have got Nobel Prizes. Only one woman, Marie Curie, has been honored twice with the 1903 Nobel Prize in Physics and the 1911 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. And India also, I have names, I'll tell you. This means that 57 women in total have been awarded the Nobel Prize between 1901 and 2020. Our government recently established 11 chairs in the names of Indian women scientists at various Indian institutes to recognize and encourage women in the field of science. So you can see many names like Dr. Archana Sharma, Dr. Janaki Ammal, Dr. Darshan Ranganathan, Dr. Asima Chatterjee, so many names are there.
And the topic is different. Empowering women.
Empowering women because they were creative. That is the thing here. But I am just showing the statistics which is linked to innovation and creativity.
It is a part of creativity.
Yes, certainly, sir. Because unless they are creative, they cannot think about it. And creativity comes through education also. Okay. So recent reports and working women, I am cutting it down because it is giving you education and all those things. Rising from the ashes also. Somebody creatively made this statue in Lebanon actually. A statue of a woman by Lebanese artist Hayat Nazar, made out of broken glass, rubble and a damaged clock marking the time. So that is creativity. And 5 MB hard disk drive in 1956 was looking like this. Left side, you can see. So 4 or 5 people are lifting it and keeping it on something and pushing it into a room. 5 MB, just 5 MB. Now you see 5 TB micro SD card 2020. It is like a small chip. So creativity can lead to so many innovations. That is the idea. Okay. Byju's also, a lot of creative ideas they are using in online education. 5.4 billion US dollars. That is the net worth of Byju's by March 2019. Then Khan Academy, e-learning company, revenue 44.823 million USD. They use some creativity, innovation. Then there is Educom, Dexler, Educard, Zeus Learning, Educard, so many things. They are using IoT, cloud, and LMS. IGNO and NIIT have started this long back, but it is they used to have that EduSat and all. UGC countrywide program used to come. So e-learning market forecast over 18 billion USD by 2022. Right. This is the latest innovation and a lot of creativity is there. This is a video, but I have just taken the snapshot. This is hologram or hologram, whatever you call it. If you stand somewhere and you want to make a presentation, like I am sitting here and I want to appear in front of a huge crowd somewhere. So my hologram, as it is, my body shape, it will appear like some angel or some god or Bhagwan is appearing. It will appear there and it will start speaking in English. And if some translation into any language on earth, it can be translated. This is the latest creativity and innovation exam. How do we develop innovation among the students? See, this is 2017-19 Asian School of Business Management. It's a university now in Bhubaneswar, where I conducted a workshop and MBA students are involved. They have designed something called what do you call owl. They called it night manager or owl design, but that is nothing but after midnight. If somebody is getting hungry or somebody wants tea, usually students have that problem. Whole night they are awake, so they designed a concept. So this is how through projects and all we can create innovation and creativity. Okay, that's all. I think here we can stop. If there are any questions or anything, you can send a mail.